Hello students, we are in the last session of index number chapter. So in this session, we will be studying about the tests for adequacy in index numbers. As you all know, there are many formulas used for the construction of index numbers, isn't it? And index number formula, that is the formula, is considered as more consistent if it satisfies the below mentioned tests: unit test, time reversal test, factor reversal test, and circular test. Now let us study in detail about each test. So the first one is unit test. So this test requires that the index numbers should be independent of the units in which prices or quantities of various commodities are quoted. So this test is satisfied by all the index number formulas except the simple aggregative price index formula. Okay. So the next one is circular test. So before going for the time reversal test and factor reversal test, let us study this circular test. So this circular test first suggested by Westergaard. Okay. So this test requires that the index number is to work in a particular manner, and this property enables us to find the index numbers from period to period without referring back to the original base each time. Okay. So for 3 years 0, 1, 2, circular test is said to be satisfied if P01 into P12 into P20 is equal to 1. So where P01 denotes that the price index for the current period 1 with respect to the base year or base period 0. So similarly it is for P12 and P20. So this test is not satisfied by Laspey's, Paget's, Marshall-Edwards, Dorbish-Bowles and Fisher's index number. Okay, so this test is satisfied only by the index number formula based on the simple geometric mean of the price relatives and Kelly's fixed weights or base method. So there is no problems given for you people in these two, unit test and circular test. So let us go for the next one, that is time reversal test. So this test was proposed by Professor Irving Fisher. So according to him, an index number, that is P0, should be such that when base period and current period, that is base year and current year, are interchanged, the resulting index should be the reciprocal of the earlier. That is P01 into P10 is equal to 1. That is P01. That is the base year first, and the second one, that is P10, and its answer should be 1. Okay. So this time reversal test is not satisfied by Laspey's, Paget's and Dorbish-Bowles index number, but it is satisfied by Marshall-Edwards, Fisher's and Kelly's index number. So let us go for the last one, it is factor reversal test. So this test also suggested by Professor Irving Fisher. Okay. So this factor reversal test requires that the product or the answer of price index and quantity index number should be equal to the corresponding value index number. So according to FTR, the relation P01 into Q01 should be V01. If this satisfies, then that means factor reversal test works. But this factor reversal test is satisfied only by Fisher's index number. Okay, so now let us see how this time reversal test and factor reversal test actually works. As I already said, you people are not given with the problems, practical problems on unit test and circular test. For exam, only problems are given from TRT and FRT. Let us start with the practical. So now let's see how this time reversal test and factor reversal test works with their formulas. So first, time reversal test. So this time reversal test, as we already studied, it is not satisfied with Laspeyres, Fash's and Darvish-Wallace index number formulas, isn't it? So let's see why it doesn't work. Okay, so first one, Laspeyres price index number. So PL01 is equal to summation P1 Q0 divided by summation P0 Q0. This is our actual formula. Okay, so time reversal test means current year becomes base year and base year becomes current period, isn't it? So TRT, time reversal test, PL01 is equal to 01 it was earlier, now it is 10, and P1 became P0, Q0 became Q1, P0 to P1, Q0 became Q1. So according to TRT, that is time reversal test, P01 into P10 means 1, isn't it? So P01, that is the first formula, this is our actual formula, and this is our TRT. Okay, so let's see why people say that time reversal test is not satisfied with Laspeyres price index number. See, if you try to simplify this now, P1 Q0, nowhere it is available here, isn't it? And P0 Q0 also it is not available. And after simplifying, our answer will not be 1, isn't it? So that is the reason behind saying or concluding that time reversal test is not satisfied with Laspeyres price index number. And so let's see in which formula it is satisfied now. So it is satisfied with Marshall-Edwards price index number, isn't it? So our actual formula is here, PME01. This is actual formula, and this is TRT, time reversal test. Current period became base year and base year became current year in all the 4 cases. Okay, so according to TRT, now P01 into P10 should be 1, isn't it? Now let's simplify. This is our actual formula and this is our TRT. Okay, so P10, summation P1 Q0. Summation P1 Q0, here also it is there. P1 Q0, it is cancelled. Next, summation P0 Q0. It is there here. Cancel. P1 Q1, it is there here. P0 Q1, it is there here. Now, the answer, when you simplify, the answer will be 1. That means Marshall and Edwards price index number satisfies time reversal test. So this is how it is proved. So now let's see how factor reversal test is satisfied only by Fisher's index number. That means it is not satisfied by Laspeyres price index number, isn't it? So let's see why. What is the reason behind not being satisfied with factor reversal test is not being satisfied with Laspeyres price index number. So This is our actual formula here, and this is last price quantity index number, isn't it? So this is a formula for last price quantity index number. Our FRT is price. When price and quantity are multiplied, the answer should be value index number. So this is our price P, and this is our quantity. Okay, and why it is not getting satisfied? See, when you simplify this now, our answer will not be summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P0 Q0. This is the formula of value index number. So when you simplify P and Q, you will not get the answer of value index number. Hence, last price index number will not satisfy the factor reversal test. So as you all know, Fisher's method will satisfy, isn't it? Factor reversal test, isn't it? So let's see. As you all know, Fisher's index number formula is this one, price index, and this is quantity index. Okay, I don't write individually. So now let's see why Fisher's method satisfies factor reversal test. See now, P1Q1, so summation P1Q0, it is there here, cancelled. We are simplifying. Next, P0Q0, it is not there here in numerators. Okay, so next P0Q1, it is there here. So now what is remaining? P1Q1, Q1 P1, both are same. Next P0 Q0 and Q0 P0, and its square, again square root, and when simplified it will be summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P0 Q0, and this is a formula of value index number. Hence, Fisher's index number satisfies factor reversal test. Now let us solve a problem on this. Compute Fisher's price index and show that it satisfies time reversal and factor reversal test. In this one problem itself, we are asked to prove that Fisher's price index satisfies both TRT and FRT. So since you all are familiar with the calculation of POQ0, P1Q0, P0Q1 and P1Q1 as per the requirement of the formula, I did not show it in this particular video. It's already shown in my previous sessions. So now we will be using final answers of this calculation to solve our problem. So here we are asked to prove that Fisher's method satisfies both time and factor reversal test, isn't it? First, let's go for time reversal test, how it satisfies. Okay, this is the actual formula and this is TRT, these two. So accordingly we filled. Okay, now let's start. 541 cancel, 472 cancel, 579 cancel, 503 cancel. That means time reversal test satisfied with Fisher's index number. Okay, so continuation, what we are asked to prove again, it also satisfies factor reversal test, isn't it? So factor reversal test, it is P01 into Q01 is equal to V01, isn't it? So same way again we filled. Next 541 cancel, 579 it's there, 542 it's there, 503 cancel. So similar to the previous one, how we calculated, 579 divided by 472 twice and its root cancel, and 579 divided by 472. This is our formula here, isn't it? Our formula on value index number is summation P1 Q1 divided by summation P0 Q0, isn't it? So with this, we are done with index number chapter. So while concluding, let me share with you all a few important information about this chapter now. You all know that this is a pattern of statistics question paper, isn't it? So from this one particular chapter, 1 mark 2 questions will be there, 2 marks 2 questions will be there, and 5 marks 2 questions will be there for section C1 and section E, second question, and 10 mark 1 question will be there. So total 26 marks you can score from this one particular chapter. So for that you need to study the formulas properly, understand the concept properly, so that you can score entire 26 marks. Now let me share with you all how to remember the formulas. If you have observed, all the price index number formulas will have PQ in it, isn't it? So here is Marshall-Edwards formula. You can see that PQ is common in this formula. So we need to remember only current and base year. So if you take those current year and base year, only 1011 divided by 0001 will be there, isn't it? And we need to keep in mind only this. So same way, try to understand by applying it even for the quantity index number. Here is the simplified form of our formulas. Try to remember the formulas this way and set the target to score entire 26 marks in this chapter. So with this, I'm winding up index number chapter series. In the next session, I'll start with the new chapter. Thank you.